Hello, everybody, and welcome to the live stream. My name is Dan Courier. This is Creator Fundamentals, and tonight we are going to talk YouTube. More specifically, we're going to take a look at the wildly popular Squid Game on Netflix and what YouTubers can learn from it. Welcome, everybody, to the live stream. It's good to see you once again doing this weekly live stream thing, getting back into the groove of things. I've been noticing some funky stuff going on YouTube, and I saw pretty much the rest of social media has been down today, and I got all kinds of warnings when I started to go live about all the different platforms that are having streaming issues. So let me know if any of those problems hit YouTube today, because honestly, I do not know. But as frequently has been the case recently, I am joined by my good friend and MC of People of Video, Dale Roberts. Good to see you, sir.
What's up, man? I'm sorry I was here, and then I had to bounce off because I realized I had to give my cat her meds, and so yeah, I was like, "Whoops!" So glad to be here. Yeah. How about that mess? Facebook and Instagram. Like, I was literally like stuck because I do a lot of communication on Facebook Messenger with some people within the self-publishing industry, and so I was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't have emails for these people." It
Yeah,
all worked out.
somehow in my world, I managed to miss it until I got home from work today. So I guess I didn't interact with them, but I started seeing things, and like I messaged my mom. She's like, "Oh, Facebook's down all day." I'm like, the crisis of the day. But
Yeah.
it is great to be live streaming here on YouTube. Seems everything is working. We thought we were going to approach YouTube from a little bit different angle tonight. We always talk about how to grow on YouTube and what the right way to do that is, but I thought maybe we would tap into a different topic. And that is, every once in a while, a show comes along that many people don't know or don't expect to be as popular as they are. And the most recent one is this show called Squid Game on Netflix. Now, personally, I haven't started watching the series. I started watching what I thought was the trailer and got into the first episode, but we're going to talk about it briefly and just try to understand exactly how something like this. It is a show that I believe was made in South Korea, so it's all English subtitles. Or they dubbed English voice over the show, but it's still wildly popular. And I think that can teach us some lessons. And we're going to touch on those during the live stream. I thought it was a fun way to take a different look at YouTube instead of showing graphs and being, okay, if your watch time is above this, then you have the opportunity to grow. Because sometimes I know, even though I cover that type of material, it can get a little dry. So we're going to mix it up a little bit tonight. We're going to talk about some other things. Dale and I just got back from Los Angeles, where we attended a conference out there. Great opportunity to be able to mingle with our fellow content creators and business owners. And we'll touch on that a little bit during the live stream as well. I'm going to jump in the chat here real quick. Just say hello. Suffice to say out there, good to see you. Brian's Random Thoughts. Welcome to the live stream. Random Earth. I know I saw LLN Carolinas. I know he's going to be at People of Video, which is that picture in the background. Sweet. That's the conference that I have coming up with Dale as MC next weekend, October 8th through 10th. So we're excited for that as well. I see gaming with Dill Ash DA. I'm not sure if I broke that down right, but that's what it looks like. Welcome to the live stream. We are happy to have you here. But yeah, so there is this show. It's called Squid Game. I literally heard about it a couple days ago. I had no idea. Of all people, my father was the one that brought it to my attention, and he brought it to my attention for good reasons. One of the other things that Dale and I have also been involved in when we're thinking about revenue streams and growing our businesses is Amazon Video. Amazon influencer video, to be more specific. And my dad reaches out and he's like, you got to buy costumes for Squid Game and make videos about them for the Amazon influencer video because it's going to be super hot this Halloween. Awesome idea. Unfortunately, nobody really is making these costumes and has them readily available on Amazon, or it would have been a great opportunity for us to make videos about them. All of the people that are selling them are going to get them to you between October 25th and like November 9th. So not everything works out in our favor, but it did bring this particular show onto the radar. And because it is unique in some ways, I think it gives us some lessons to learn. And we're going to talk about those. We're going to go into those in the live stream. So let's see here. Okay. If you have any questions during the live stream, definitely leave them in the chat. We'll be happy to touch base on those. But the biggest thing that stood out to me about this particular show is that sometimes different is better than better. When you think about all the production that people put into major productions on Netflix and everywhere else, not to say that this is low budget by any means, but it is such a unique idea that I think it's really captured a lot of people's attention. If you don't know, it's kind of a sinister plot here on Squid Game where people think they're entering a contest to win a lot of money, but they quickly realize that they are isolated, and it sounds like only one of them may walk out with the money and nobody else will walk out. So it's kind of an interesting twist on a game show. But people are eating it up, and they, it's obviously popular where it started in Korea, but now in the UK and the US, it's #1 on Netflix. So all those things kind of go together to teach us some lessons about what we need to do as content creators. A lot of times we look at what other people are doing on YouTube, but at the end of the day, another key that it teaches us is about storytelling. When the better that you are in able to tell a story, and Dale, you were there with me when we saw Peter McKinnon wrap up Vid Summit.
Dude, he nuked. Like, honestly, like, best speaker of the entire week. Had so much fun. You bring him to People of Video. Tell me you're bringing him in subsequent years.
Yeah, I will do my best, because he's, of course, listening to him talking that, he's like, if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. So you got to make sure, because he's not too, he's in Toronto, right? Or he's somewhere not too far away from here in Albany, New York.
I believe so.
But he brought up a great point, and it was basically that everybody else out there was giving stats, and Todd Beaupre from YouTube breaking down all the insider information, and of course Daryl Eves and everybody, and he came out and he's like, I didn't give you any information about how to grow on YouTube. I just told you a good story, and you're captivated for the entire time. And that's completely true. Just being able to put a good story together and walk people through that experience and everybody, true to his word, they were on the edge of their seat. They were enjoying his presentation, and he really captured the audience without having to give away any super secret tips, which, as we all move through this YouTube thing, we start to realize that there's nothing too secret anymore with all the video that gets put out on YouTube, except the ability to tell a good story.
Yeah, that's a huge thing that I started to learn over the past year. My channel has been what's referred to as a utility channel. People come to my channel for information, and as soon as they get that information, they're good, deuces, I'm out of here. I have no reason to come back. And the problem is it's rather niche. You're looking at an audience that just needs something. They need an itch scratched, and you've got that. And as soon as that transaction's done, they're out of here. So what ends up happening is they have little reason to return. Whereas when you start to tell stories within the context of a single video or across multiple videos, like a full story arc, people are more invested. They want to come back. A great example of something like this. Have you heard of the channel 1000?
I think I've heard of it, but I'm not.
Highly recommend it. He's a fantastic artist based out of Michigan. And he had done a full video series circling around him doing art for a deck of cards. And he was going through and doing art of each one of them, and he had his audience vote for it. And each one of the videos, it wasn't utility. It was him telling his story and showing how he struggled and getting some of the artwork put together. And then by the time he got up to 5 or 6 videos, he launched his Kickstarter campaign. And you're going to love this. This is the part that's inspiring. It shows you the ability of storytelling and how it can really make a massive impact. He had his Kickstarter campaign at $10,000. Not unreasonable, right? He blew past that goal in 3 minutes. He's already hit $2 million in 3 weeks for his Kickstarter campaign. He literally got on and got near tears in a video sharing like, what? He was speechless because he knew the art of telling a story. And so I think a lot of people complicate the whole situation, and they hear a lot of YouTubers. And see, I used to subscribe to this belief. You get on, you tell people, okay, this is what the video is going to be about. And, oh, welcome to my channel. This is what I'm about. Subscribe if you'd like to, and hit the like button. And then you go into your content, and then you close out the stuff. that formula used to work really well, and to a certain extent it still does to this day, but it doesn't have as much traction as if you were to story tell. So I
Absolutely.
wanted to kind of tack on that little story here for everybody, because 1000 is a millionaire now.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. And it's like you said, it all comes back to storytelling. I see Doc Rock out there. Dan, see you soon. Heading that way tomorrow. Awesome. Can't wait to see you in person up here in Albany, New York. Looking forward to that. But yeah, the idea of storytelling brings up another point that I noticed that really stands out about Squid Game is the idea that when we all know, especially on my channel, what's the common thing? How do I promote my videos? How do I promote my videos? Well, I'll tell you what, you become a great storyteller and you put out content, you get the benefit of what Squid Game is getting right now, which is word of mouth, which is somebody watches your content and they are so compelled by it that they automatically go out and tell people. They don't have to share a link. They are out there. They're telling you why they like it, why they don't like it, why you have to watch it. And that is the kind of thing that really fuels viral content and getting your videos out to a wider audience. YouTube starts picking up those signals from people from all different, because remember, YouTube is trying to understand what viewers want. And you're telling all your friends, and every one of your friends is going out and checking out this video, and that's sending all that information to YouTube that says, hey, this type of viewer likes this content. And when you get word of mouth and it spreads like wildfire, like we're seeing with Squid Game, then it just blows up everywhere. I think the trailer has 18 million views on
Wow.
YouTube, so it's definitely pulling its own weight out there. And like I said, it got brought to my attention by my father in his 60s. So if it it reaches him, it reaches somebody my age, and it just seems to, and it's number one on Netflix right now. So it's definitely out there and gaining traction. I see Mr. Camera Junkie. Welcome to the live stream. Good to see you out there as well. Let's see. Same issue covered on my channel. All seems to be old news. My channel has plateaued. Yeah, I mean, we definitely, that's the one thing. It's on YouTube. It's what's next, because nothing lasts forever. Sometimes the things that you put your energy into don't go the way you want them to, which I think is just, it's kind of a mindset you have to adapt to, which is, I've done that. I gave it my best. Once you release it into the wild, you move on to the next thing, and what will be will be. So it's so easy to get caught up in something that you've already done and dwell on the past if you're not quite getting the response you want. But turn the page and just keep uploading.
Hey, I tell you, I have the same issue sometimes too, where I start to say, well, this has to work or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's something that I think is very interesting, and something for us to all think about is the virility of this Squid Game. Never heard of it, but I imagine now that I've heard it, it'll probably start popping up everywhere for me. I don't
Who
have
said it out
Netflix.
loud? Do you have a Alexa around or something?
Yeah. But the thing that I'm thinking is, how is this applicable? Because we often say it should be like a direct call to action. It should be an active call to action rather than something passive and sharing something. So let's say, for instance, right now, we're all watching this, folks. If you're enjoying today's video, obviously, please share it across social media and tag us. That would be awesome, at Self Pub with Dale and Creator Fundies. So, by the way, it always cracks me up every time I hear your name's Creator Fundies. It just sounds like something you wear, like
Yeah.
grown,
Yeah.
underwear of
Like
some sort.
underoos? Yeah, is that right?
Yeah, like underoos. Yeah, there you go. But it's so funny that I would anticipate. I'm not going to say I'm 99.9% sure that in the course of watching that Netflix show, not once did they say share this with somebody. So, at what point should we stop directly asking people to share the content, and then just start to rely on our storytelling in order to actually be shared amongst other people?
I think that certain content lends itself to storytelling more so than other content. And I
Okay.
think for the content that is not naturally storytelling type content, that people tend to fall into that other formula where they're actively trying to let people know, hey, I created this video to help you solve XYZ. If I did that for you, let other people know. And I think there's
Mm.
value to that. But I think also what we see with the power of storytelling, and it's not like, oh, tell a story, it's really easy, you're going to take off.
Yeah.
There is a art form to it. And I think that while calls to action and those kind of things can be effective, I think if you're a master storyteller, then you don't really need any of that, because it's just the overall product, the feeling that you left the people in there, while also, teaching them something in a very natural way, is going to be enough for them to just want to tell other people about it. And they're going to want more. So YouTube is going to recognize that. And these days, like, calls to action to subscribe and all those, like Dale and I saw a lot with some YouTube experts and stuff that were out in Los Angeles at the conference that we attended, is that YouTube is shifting from watch time to satisfaction. So they're sending out surveys to people. They really want to understand that at the end of a video, people feel satisfied, that they enjoyed watching the video, that the video gave them what they expected to receive. Because we know that you've all watched a video where maybe it hooks you for like 10 or 15 minutes because you were expecting a certain payoff and it never arrives. Like it's a horrible thing they do on TikTok, where they'll put just some random video and they'll say, wait for it. And then you like watch the video 2 or 3 times in a row and nothing happens. You're like, what did I, those kind of things are not going to pay off. But I think that it's just helpful to be able to tell a good story and practice it. Even if you have, and that's something that I'm certainly going to, start to integrate here on Creator Fundamentals, is even if your content isn't naturally storytelling content, I think there's opportunity to start to figure out how to do that. For me, that may be sharing, personal experiences about how I, was trying to solve the problem, or what solving the problem was able to do for me, making it a little more personal and letting people know that it's not just this mechanical thing, that quite frankly, even as the content creator, can get boring. How many times can you tell somebody how to upload a video to YouTube? I obviously, it's something that I've done probably 500 times now.
Ad nauseum. Trust me,
my channels. Yeah.
Publishing a book, I've said it 50,000 times. Like after a while, I'm just like, oh, and that's why doing the storytelling option of things is more refreshing for me. I found I was burning out, having to do a same. Hey, this is how you upload videos. It changed slightly in the last 3 years, just slightly, But yeah, I feel you on that one, where it just, the satisfaction thing I had started seeing creeping out, because I watch a lot of YouTube, hours of YouTube, and I get that a lot, where I will go through my suggested and I will see like, hey, do you like this specific video? And it'll have different like facial like icons to represent how satisfied you are with it. So this is really interesting. The fact that, you think back in the day when, it was all predicated, like the success was on views. Like if you just could get views on YouTube, that's all. Now it's like, okay, if you could get subscribers, okay, nope, now you have to get subscribers and watch time. Oh, wait, hang on. Let's go ahead and add something. We're going to sprinkle a little extra something in there, and it's satisfaction. And that's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one for people to kind of measure that out.
Yeah, and it's definitely going to be like, I'm really curious to see how they get that more widespread, because you don't get a survey on every video you watch.
No.
So they must have some method of kind of grouping people and saying, okay, this type of person watched this video and they were satisfied, so other people similar to this viewer are probably going to be satisfied, and maybe we show it to a bigger pool of people and see, what that looks like. So
yeah, for sure. So we started kind of venturing away from the Squid Game. I know you had a couple other good bullet points, because you and I were kind of discussing a little bit before we jumped on here about it.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that, reaching new markets is also another thing, that when you make something, and to some degree, this comes back to storytelling as well. This show was originally made in another language. At least, for the way that I received it here in the United States, which is, with the English, dubbed over in English. So even when you have a good story, it's universal, and finding ways to make content that has a broader appeal can allow you to reach new places. And obviously, if you're able to extend into another market or another niche in YouTube language, or extend beyond your niche to broader, to a broader audience, you have an opportunity to, grow your channel in that way as well.
Yeah. Did you happen to see, I'm not sure if you did in your research, when did the show officially come out say in South Korea? Has there been a bit of a delay in distribution to Netflix, especially in US or in other areas of the world?
Um, when did it? I don't know when it initially came out over there.
Mhm.
Let me see. Let
So
me
I'd be
see.
curious to kind
I
of
am curious
know, like,
how long
it's
it took it to move.
right. Did they see, okay, we've got a hit on our hands. Let's see about getting this translated into various languages for better reach? Because this is something that I encourage people to do in self publishing. If you've got something that works really well in print, in English, we'll say, then try other languages that are popular. You know, for instance, go with Spanish, French, German is huge right now in self publishing. Any number of those languages. But I know that most instances, 99.999% of the time, people won't touch a translation until they see that their original concept is doing well, because it
Right.
doesn't make sense to go ahead and throw money down into the outhouse, you know, if you can help it.
They don't specifically mention, at least in the article that I found, whether there was a split. It just says it was released September 17th. And it's a 9 episode thriller, and it's poised to become Netflix's biggest. It said 9 days out, it had a good chance of being Netflix's biggest show
Wow.
ever. So that's certainly interesting. I don't know that if they came out exactly, if they both came out in the 17th, dubbed in multiple in English as well. Um, but it's certainly a pretty short time frame to launch itself up to the #1 show on Netflix.
Oh, look at this. Temi Danso Art just brought up a bit late on live, but 1000 story with the Kickstarter so inspiring. I'm a massive fan of his. Oh, I am a huge fan of 1000. Stumbled over his channel about like a year or two ago when he started doing videos about Fiverr, where he would go and do Fiverr gigs. And it was pretty crazy. I was like, fell in love with the guy because he just does such great storytelling. But sorry, I had to bring up what Temi said here. Yeah, Temi, I just love the guy. Just love all his content. He does his own music, for crying out loud. Like, he has, like, he'll be doing his art and you hear him rapping over top of it. I'm like,
Nice.
what? Like, I put a
Oh,
lot of
see,
work into my videos, but not that much.
I see you say that. I got to let you listen to something, Dale.
Oh, do you have
Uh,
some raps?
I'll let you listen.
You gonna drop some bars for me, are you?
I just
Boy,
want to
I
say,
sounded really awkward. I'm sorry, folks.
you want to drop some bar?
I'm gonna drop some bars. All the
Thank you.
hip kids are doing that these
Yeah.
days.
Thank you so much. Suffice to say, super chat, red light, green light, movement breaks my keyboard. Yeah. So in the trailer for Squid Game, it shows they basically start out by playing a game of red light, green light, which if you played it as a kid, you know basically how that works. That everybody turns their back and yells green light, and people run towards them, and then they flip around and turn red light, and everybody still that's still moving is out of the game. But in this case, they open fire on them, so it's a completely different. It's a completely different thing. This is basically like a sadistic game show where nobody has the option of leaving, is basically what they teach you in this trailer. So it's interesting that topic, it has such broad appeal, but it's different. And the way that they have put it together, it really apparently is lending itself to a wide audience, which, when you're able to find something that has universal appeal like that, which is contrary to what we always say, to niche down, niche down, niche down. But you can certainly have a video or a series that blows up like Squid Game is doing over there on Netflix.
Paradox City Life says, is Squid Game a movie? No, it's a series.
Yep, it's a Netflix series. I don't know how many if more than one of the episodes is out yet, but I know at least the first episode is out over there, and it's quite an interesting thing. And it's they also tell you in the trailer that like the people that were in the game were like down on their luck or had financial problems, so they lured them all to the game with this, And I've seen different spins on this, but apparently this one is really striking a chord with people who are just eating it up over there on Netflix.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. So
You look like you got lost there, man.
I'm just reading the chats here, trying to suffice it to say, so it was only supposed to be $2. I'm not sure what happened. All right. I don't plan on seeing it. He says he doesn't understand. Oh, like, where is it? This original one. I don't understand what the big deal is with Squid Game. And that's, that's another thing. Sometimes popular content is very hot cold with people. But, you find something that people resonate with, and good things. I mean, it helps to have Netflix behind it, of course. That's quite a big team. I don't expect anybody to quite reproduce what somebody does on Netflix, but the concept is helpful. And I think the more we realize that regardless of the medium of how we receive messages, whether it's, just in a conversation with somebody, the people who tell good stories are the ones you're going to be captivated by, versus the people who just kind of rattle off and go on a tangent and aren't talking about anything specific. We see it in everything we do, whether it's the conversation or it's a video on YouTube or it's a show that we watch. Good storytelling really does trump everything else when it comes down to it. Sarah Dawn, I admit I haven't watched Squid Game, but I hope this will be interesting. I have not seen the show either. I have not started watching it. I've only seen the trailer, but because as quickly as I started seeing it, like literally, as I mentioned earlier, my father mentioned it to me, and I opened Netflix, and it's like it's what they hit you with as soon as you get into Netflix. And there's a bunch of articles out there about it, so it's definitely a viral sensation at the moment, which we can all relate to, and we all hope to do here on YouTube.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep, Facebook and Insta went down. Found that earlier. Yep. And apparently they're still. I was trying to get on Messenger earlier. I was actually trying to send Dale a message earlier. I'm like, what is going on with this damn thing? What do you mean can't connect? I have internet.
And the crazy thing is you've got my freaking phone number, man. You could have just texted me.
I was multitasking in a poor way. So this is Creator Fundamentals. Talk about YouTube Live versus Twitch. That's actually something I would hand off to Dale because he's more of a Twitch aficionado than I am. So what's your thoughts on those two?
I think this would probably deserve an almost separate broadcast in itself, YouTube Live versus Twitch, because it's not just a simple thing of well, one's better than the other. It really depends solely on your goals. But I will say that I've been on Twitch nearly as long as I was on YouTube, and I got the fraction of the results on Twitch that I got over on YouTube. And I like it. It's a nice platform to go and stream to, but unfortunately, even though it's owned by Amazon, they have no algorithm to speak of over on Twitch, and that's one of the parts that just makes it absolutely you're undiscoverable. The only way for you to succeed is it's a popularity contest. If you can bring people over to your party and you've got them, well, Twitch will give you even more people. It's not based on search engine optimization. It's not based on watch time. It's based on how many people are watching you and can you be able to bring in more people for Twitch to go ahead and enjoy. YouTube, it's a level playing field, and it's much easier to find yourself successful over on YouTube versus Twitch. Twitch is an uphill battle, and be prepared. The most successful people on Twitch's platform stream for hours at a time. Hours. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
I really don't.
It's like there's so many different platforms and things to do. I couldn't even imagine that. That's similar to, a lot of people stream over on Amazon, and it was something that, again, live streaming can certainly take a lot of time and effort. So it's definitely something that you have to make sure fits into your schedule and what you're trying to do. And for example, I've been doing the videos over on Amazon because I feel that they're a much more productive use of time than live streaming. And there's a lot of money to be made over there. So that's definitely something that's interesting. So I'm gonna highlight this comment because I think it's funny, but we're being educated, and well, I'm being educated because this was all my doing. This video is a sad attempt.
I saw that one. That was where you paused. No. Let me get this one.
Yeah.
Let me read this. This video is a sad attempt to try and profit off a vile trend. Your channel has nothing to do with this depraved show, yet you still try to connect to video production. Sad. You know what's sad? is your sad attempt at trying to take over the spotlight here. Quite frankly, we're having a conversation. If that conversation isn't one that you want to be part of, don't stay here. No one wants you here. That's just that simple.
Yeah, people, it's everybody's entitled to their opinion, but yeah, there's nothing keeping you on the live stream. You're more than, I mean, I can only imagine this person came rolling into this live stream expecting that they were going to, have a breakdown of the, I don't know, characters or something in the show. But I think my title was pretty straight on what YouTubers can
Yeah,
learn from Squid Game, because there are lessons and people tend to
absolutely.
go, uh, it's not just on YouTube where you learn about these things, and people need to understand that the concept. And I've certainly been guilty of this when I first started on YouTube. I'm like, oh, what's the algorithm doing and all this? But that information was basically, reemphasized to us that it's not about the algorithm. It's how people react and how people feel after they watch your content. We
Yep.
had Todd Beaupre, who you may have seen on, is it Creator Insider? Is that the name of the
Yeah.
YouTubers? Creator
Mhm.
Insider. He was on stage talking to us directly, telling us this is how it is. So
Yeah.
there is actually relevance to something like Squid Game because it is so popular. And that is exactly what we're trying to achieve when we make content on YouTube. So I do think there is a correlation. I do think it's valuable, but at the same time, it's not like your goal is not, you're not trying to go out and make Squid Game. You're trying to tell better stories. You're trying to get people to share your content without having to say like and subscribe and do all those things,
Yeah.
because they simply were, overcome with some type of emotion. Maybe they hated it, but they're still going to say, oh, this is an awful show. Check out this trailer. Or I love this show. Check out the trailer. Or I can't believe they did this. Or I don't like the subtitles. I saw one, comment where somebody was complaining that the translation to English really ruined a lot of the subtlety of the original, dialogue. But you don't always have to make everybody a fan to get people to talk about your content. And the more people talk about it, the more opportunities you have to reach a wider audience. And that is the message of this live stream. And I think we can find lessons from this, even if Sassy doesn't think so.
Yeah, it's here's the thing, here's folks,
And
is I've been doing online business for quite a few years now. Dan has as well. And the sooner you can start to draw parallels between certain walks of business, the sooner you can start to improve your business, start to see some success and gain some traction. I'm very thankful that my success on YouTube has been largely due in part to the fact that I really became so engrossed in learning the art of self-publishing books. And when I started to draw the parallels between Amazon as a platform and YouTube, when I saw the algorithms and how they function and keywords and how, recommendations and suggestions are the same thing as also bots over on Amazon. Draw those parallels in life and it'll be able to really help you move forward. So while you're sitting here going, well, they're just tapping into a trend, it's a conversation that's hot right now. Yes, we totally realize that. But what we want to do is try to put this out here as a conversation and get you to start to critically think and move yourself in the right direction. Is this perfect? No, not by any stretch. Dan or I are not going to sit here and say, well, this is the perfect message to everybody. What we're trying to do is give something and shed some light on a situation that could possibly help you move forward in your business online.
yeah, and remember the idea of this is not the content of the show. It is what happens when you make something that people care about,
Yeah.
or evokes emotion. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a specific emotion. It just has to be emotion. In that particular case, they referred to it as a depraved show. So maybe they're going to go on Facebook and say, I can't believe they made Squid Game. This is why I don't like it. And somebody's going to go, oh, I've never heard of Squid Game. This guy's really pissed off. I should go see what Squid Game is all about. Because that is how, when you move people in an emotional way, that is what triggers people to share your content with others, to watch it longer, to comment about it. It doesn't have to always be, hey, I made everybody in the universe happy and now they're going to share the content. In a lot of cases, people are more likely to share something that they don't agree with or they get angry about. My goodness, we've certainly seen that in recent history. That can certainly be a valid way to get your message out to as many people as possible. So it's not so much about what you're making content about. It's making content that people are moved to speak about or share with their friends, or, just vent about, as we saw here. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's folks, this is very simple. if you want to see some form of success, you're going to need to pick a side. And you're going to need to be polarizing to a certain extent and to probably a larger extent. Let me just share just a little bit of a personal situation. Dan, you know that I was a former pro wrestler, right?
I do.
Okay, yes. And until like my spine fell apart and I couldn't do it anymore. We as professional wrestlers are in the art of sports entertainment, as they call it. Meaning that, of course, yes, it is scripted violence, is what it is. It's scripted violence. Let's just go ahead and just get it out the way. We are paid to do a job. Someone is either a bad guy or they're a good guy or they're sometimes something in between. But either way, what we're paid to do is not so much going out there and killing ourselves, but it's to get a reaction, to strike some type of a chord with somebody. One of the worst things to happen is if you go in front of an audience as a professional wrestler and hear crickets, that's bad. That's bad because no one wants to go and buy another ticket to your show. If you came out there and you stunk up the ring, no one wants to come back and see you. So that's the thing is you're going to have to pick one side or the other. And, you know, who knows? Maybe Sassy has a pretty good point here and that, you know, she decided she was going to go ahead and say a polarizing view on a thing. And you know what? I pushed back. And kudos on you that you decided this was going to be the hill that you were going to die on. So, no, whatever floats your boat. Just remember this, that it's the people that really pick a side and stick to it that are going to probably see the most success in all walks of business. Now, I'm not trying to say you should go out there and start, you know, getting yourself canceled by any stretch. Let's be real here. You know, be like, well, Dale said over on Creator Fundamentals that I need to be polarizing, so I'm just going to go over and start calling people really bad names that shouldn't be said out loud. So, at any rate, I thought I would just share that again.
And that's a great point because the first video that actually kind of blew up my channel when I first started was a polarizing video where I was basically having people say that I was pandering to people and they didn't agree with it and it wasn't the right type of content to make, because when I first started, everything in the YouTube educator space was positive energy, tell everybody it's going to be okay, just keep pushing forward. And, you know, I can be kind of an emotional guy at times. And when YouTube went out and changed something significant, like how people were going to get monetized, I was kind of pissed about it and I knew everybody was. So that's the video that I made. And that was probably one of the most successful videos and probably to this day in terms of how quickly people responded to it. It brought my channel from like 700 to like 7,000 subscribers in less than a month. And it was just ridiculous how when you strike a chord, when you touch on that emotion that people are feeling, or you're able to evoke some type of emotional response, it's like a whole different game you're playing in terms of reaching people and getting people to watch your content.
Hey, Dan, got a question for you from KRDP Fishing Outdoors. I'm a new creator just starting out, so I only have 3 videos on YouTube. Like, by the way, congratulations on that. And I'm being serious. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. My question is, when would be a good time to start using playlists with my content?
So it's never too early to do playlists. Just keep in mind when you display playlists on your main channel page, for example, it's going to show I think like 5 or 6 videos depending on the size of the screen at the time or what's actually going to appear there. Yeah. So as you start to develop additional videos and you have enough videos to do multiple playlists, you can kind of organize them in such a way that you can display them 5 videos at a time. I think playlists are helpful in allowing people to kind of see some type of categorization of your content, and playlists are also searchable. So when you're creating a playlist, make sure that the name of your playlist is something that people may come across in or may search for. So like if you're doing, you know, what's the right kind of bait to use? Because I think it says fishing outdoors. You know, what's the right kind of bait to catch a bass? And maybe you do a bunch of different videos on that topic. You put those all in a playlist with a title similar to that, you know, best bass bait or whatever it is. And you do that over time. Those are additional ways that people can identify your content. But generally speaking, as you start to build out additional playlists and you have a lot more videos, I tend to wait until a particular playlist has, you know, 5 videos in it to display it on the front homepage. It just looks better. But since you're just starting out, you could certainly do that right away. I also like to make custom versions of the most popular playlist. There's two defaults they give you, which is your latest videos and your most popular ones. But if you make those your own, then you can create a title that's a little more discoverable. Of course, these days, YouTube will probably surface those automatic playlists in much the same way, just because, you know, they obviously have all the data and know everything about your channel. So I don't think it's ever too early. It's just a matter of how you want to display them on your main channel page as you continue to create more content.
What I have typically done, this is something I picked up from Daryl Leaves a few years ago, was if you have the intent to build out a series or a playlist, set it up automatically. So as the videos are coming and you go to hit publish, they'll automatically fill into that playlist. So that was one of the things I'd learned from Daryl. Here's another tip that I want to share with you since you're relatively new to the whole YouTube ethos. Welcome, of course. When you share your video, instead of using the share link that you normally would below a video, what you're going to do is go into the playlist and actually play the video within the playlist. And you're going to see this long super URL at the very top. You can grab that and you can do a link shortener on it, or in some cases, if you're actually publishing that on YouTube, it'll truncate it down to something that's a little bit more digestible. And at any rate, when you send someone to that video, they're going to be dumped into your playlist. Now, you're probably saying, Dale, that's all well and good. I only got 3 videos. As soon as you're done with 3 videos, what are they going to watch from there? That's okay, because you're starting to build this out. So let's say that you share something via Twitter or through your email list or somewhere else, maybe another 2, 3 years down the road. That playlist might have, say, up to 12 videos in it at that time. So you're dumping them into the front of that playlist, and they're going to be able to binge watch your content. Here's the problem. When you try to just use the share link, you're relying on suggested to actually send people over to your channel, or in most instances, since you're a new channel, it's going to go to somebody else's channel. I don't know about you, you probably worked your tail off for those 3 videos. Let's go ahead and get the most of it that we can, drop people into playlists, so when they're done with the 1 video, oh my gosh, this next video, I just enjoyed this first one. Of course I'm going to binge watch it. This is one of the things I think that has been hugely critical in the success for my channel, though as small as it might be at 50,000 subscribers, it still draws in a lot of binging type content. I'll get people just dropping comments, rapid fire, one after the other, and I'll be like, oh, you're binging content, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah. So use the playlist again, put it into the playlist, watch the video inside the playlist, grab the big super URL and share that. You can use a link shortener. Bitly's 100% free, or if you've got pretty links on a WordPress site, you get the idea.
Absolutely. And you know what? We are quickly closing in on the 1 hour mark. Before we do wrap up this evening, I do want to mention, as I mentioned earlier, Dale is the MC for People of Video. That is the conference that I'm holding next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, October 8th through 10th in Albany, New York. If you want to learn from amazing creators who are experts in the field, like Roberto Blake and Owen Video and many more, Dale is going to take the stage as well. You can come hang out with us in Albany at People of Video. You can go to peopleofvideo.com. But I just want to show you something quick, give you a little sense of what we're doing here with the People of Video, and we really would love to see you in person. That, of course, is People of Video. We would absolutely love to see you there. And I'm going to throw a link in the chat here real quick if anybody's interested in joining us. And hopefully I did that right the first time. Peopleofvideo.com, promo code YouTube to save 45%. Like I said, when we get together with, or when I get together with Dale, the hour usually flies by pretty fast. We do have a little bit of time left for any questions. If you have any questions related to YouTube in general, or Amazon Video, or People of Video, or self-publishing, now is the time to ask those questions. We're happy to answer them the best we can in the few minutes that we have left. But Dale, what are your thoughts on the weekend coming up and your, what I believe is your debut as an MC, is it not?
It will be my debut as an MC. I've done speaking before, but not to this level. So I'm excited, man. I'm beyond excited because I mean, a lot of these people are my peers, and some of the people that I've actually looked up to, like Roberto Blake. Get out! You would have told me a few years ago I was going to introduce him on stage. Roberto, please show up. Don't bail on us. We love you. Judy Fox is going to be there. Like, get out. It's an all-star cast. Eddie Garrison. Oh my Lord. Don't put Dan and Eddie Garrison and I in the same room because it's going to explode. So we're going to have to probably get everybody to wear their explosives equipment. So they're not going to, get, ignited on fire or anything else. Like, no, I'm just totally kidding. Eddie Garrison is just a gem and he's going to have a great time. But yeah, I'm looking forward to People of Video. There's going to be a lot of great stuff. And the cool thing is I get to see every last stinking bit of it from the front row seat. And, it's going to be an intimate experience. It's not going to be a packed house. So this is a perfect opportunity that if you want to sit and learn directly from Dan, like literally, he's not going to lord over you on a stage and be like, well, I'm not talking to you afterwards. He's a super approachable person. I know a lot of the people that actually on the card are going to be just exemplary. Doc Rock is going to be another one. He was just here earlier.
Yep.
Which, by the way, I keep running into him online. Ever since you told me about Doc Rock, I ran into him. Luria was streaming on Live Streaming Pros earlier. So geeked up about it, man. Sorry, I went on too much about that.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, there's so many people that I'm looking forward to meeting in person for the first time. Obviously, we know them online, but it's such a different experience when you get into a room and be able to meet people face to face. There's information that you're going to get face to face. Because at the end of the day, like we said, not everything is, sexy and makes for great videos that get shared by a bunch of people, but they're the nuggets that you really want to know about to grow your business and build revenue around your content. I'm going to be covering Amazon influencer video. It's one of the hottest new revenue streams for YouTubers. There's so many YouTubers that are jumping on the boat with that. And I'm going to share everything I know that has helped me get $5,000, $7,000 a month in revenue from Amazon, in addition to all the other stuff I get from YouTube live on stage. So I'm super excited about that. If you're on the fence, definitely pull the trigger. You won't regret it. We're going to have a great time. And I just can't wait to see everybody in Albany. I know we have a hard stop. We're closing in. So any last questions in there? Otherwise, we'll let everybody go for this evening. Hopefully I will see you next time at People of Video Live and in person. But if not, we will definitely see you in a future live stream. I don't see any questions coming in. Thank you so much, Dale, for joining us once again. The next time we talk or see each other face-to-face will actually be face-to-face in Albany, New York, coming up here. And oh my goodness, it's like 4 days away. Holy cow.
Flying out
no
day
pressure.
after tomorrow. Yeah.
So that's, we're absolutely going
By
to...
the way, can I just give a shout out here to Mr. Camera Junkie?
Sure.
Oh my gosh, you're driving from Miami? Bro,
Nice.
Get with me, man. I'm going to hook you up with something. That is just applause to you, man. Honestly.
I got to put you in contact with my buddy down there, Alex Fishing, who lives in Miami. I've been trying to get him to come up to the event, and you guys should carpool. Awesome. So that's fantastic. That's dedication right there, getting up here to hang out with everybody. And we can't wait to see you and everybody else at People of Video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight.